that is now changing. This month, Kenya will take one more step in recognizing a third sex. For the first time, intersex persons will be accorded a separate identity in the 2019 Population and Housing Census to be conducted between August 24th and 30th. It is a big win for human rights defenders who've waged a long campaign for formal recognition and an end to stigma and discrimination. Intersex, previously known as hermaphrodite, is a biological condition where one is born both male and female. A government task force set up in 2017 defines intersex as a person who is conceived and born with a biological sex characteristic but can't be exclusively categorized in the common binary of female or male due to their inherent and mixed anatomical, hormonal, gonadal, ovaries and testes, or chromosomal X and Y patterns, which could be apparent prior to, at birth, in childhood, puberty, or adulthood. Contrary to common perceptions, intersex goes beyond having male and female sexual organs. The person's biological makeup is both male and female.
What's up, YouTube? Alright, y'all. Starting with episode 1 of this Intersex series, I told you what intersex was, what it meant to me, and my experience of being intersex. So 2 was the period. Yes, I do have periods. I do have menstrual cycles. And yeah, this is episode number 3. Intersex series. Alright, today we're going to be covering eating disorders, my experience of eating disorders as an intersex person, and what caused me to have them. And if you watched my last episode, you would know that what I'm about to talk about is kind of serious. It's something that I've never shared with anyone ever in life but Jesus. So yeah, this is a big one. This is a little intense. So rock with me, y'all, and let me open up to you again. An intersex series, bullied and abused. Episode number 3, let's do it. Y'all already know what I'm about to say. Phoenix, try, subscribe, watch this with an open heart, mind, and spirit. Start the intro, please. What's up, YouTube? Today is going to be really hard to share, but I'm going to open up to you. So where did we leave off? Yeah, high school, first year. Ooh, that was a rough year. If you looked on my video episode 2, you would know what happened. Check that out. But episode 3, we're going to start off in my senior year. Ooh, senior year was kind of cool. It was lit. I said I was gonna lose all this weight for prom so I can look good in my suit. You know, I got to, because I gained a lot of weight between the 10th and the 11th grade because my mother had passed, and it was rough. It was really rough on me. But yeah. Anyway. Sorry for taking these pauses, but I miss my mommy. But anyway, senior year. Gotta lose all this weight. This is me thinking in my head. I gotta lose all this weight. I have to get money for my suit and all of that. I have to do all of this and all of that. No parents. But my cousin was just so much of a blessing. Both my cousins. I'm not gonna name their names out of respect, but my cousin that I stayed with and the other cousin that I stayed with, they were blessings. God said, who is my mother and who is my father? Those that are there for you and that love you. Can't take the place of it, but you can be there to fill in. You know what I mean? So I appreciate you too so much for filling in. My grandmother, she's just, enough needed to be said. She was always been there, always been an angel to me. I love all three of y'all. Naming those three people for a reason because they're gonna be in my story. Okay, senior year. Wait. Okay. So in my head, I gotta do all this, and all of a sudden, blessings started writing down. So picture it. I'm living with my cousin. My mother passed. I'm living with my cousin now. And prom time is here. I gotta lose this weight. I went on the 1, 2, 3 success plan I did it. Jenny Craig. I did it. It worked though, y'all. I did the 1, 2, 3 success plan, did my points. I would jog around the block. Anybody who knows me that lives in the neighborhood know that around that time I was really wanting to lose weight. I would jog around the block all day long. And I just lost a lot of weight, y'all. So I'm losing all this weight. In the midst of that, I was going through my menstrual cycles and going through changes of having crushes on people and not being able to express it in high school and being bullied and just a whole lot wrapped up into one. So keeping all that in your head. Now picture me not having any outlet. Food was always my outlet all my life. My mother, when she was living, kept my weight under control. And when she passed, it just got out of control. I hit the 200 mark. Then I hit the 250 mark. Then I hit the 300 mark. So I had to lose a lot of weight. So down to 250 already. About 4 months before prom time, I'm like, okay, I can get down to 200. I can get down to 190. Believe it or not, I formed eating disorder within that. Stress at school and being the AP honor classes and stress on having a GPA over 3.5. I got a 3.9, yeah. But just all of that in high school and adolescence and going through the premenstrual cycles and can't express myself to people. It was hard. It was so hard, y'all. So I would eat a whole lot of food late at night and then I'd throw it up. And I would do this over and over and over again. And I would engorge into large amounts of food. My cousin worked late sometimes. She worked early sometimes. And when she leave, I had the house to myself, so I would just eat and eat and eat and cry and eat. And it was crazy, y'all. But I kept my weight down. I lost more weight because I exercised excessively. I weighed myself over and over again. In high school, I took gym, but I took showers afterwards. Don't judge me. Because if you looked at episode 2, I couldn't take showers. And just how high school people are, I was already getting bullied. If they hadn't seen my private parts, they would have torn me to shreds. I couldn't handle it, so I could just imagine they couldn't handle it. You know what I mean? It was just too much. So going through all of that, eating and throwing up, oh my God, it was a form to habit. And I started getting sick and dizzy. I would pass out. It was just, I would be grumpy. It was a lot. It was a lot. So prom time comes. I'm having fun. I have 2 dates. My 2 friends, my cousin. Rest in peace, Renee Johnson. I love you. ooh, I can't believe she's gone. This is my cousin. I love her. And I'm not going to say her name, but she knows who she is. We sung A Whole New World together in the Latin. I had those 2 days for prom, and it was beautiful. It was bomb. And I had fun. I lost my weight. I got down to I got down to actually 190. I lost a lot of weight. When I'm determined to do something, I do it. Saying all that was my eating disorder phase. And it faded in and out throughout my adulthood, but I'll go further into that in more episodes. But yeah, then after I graduated, that summertime hit. Then prom was over. I had no extensive goals, so I gained a little weight back, but I was a little cute size. I was thick, but I wasn't, But anyway, the eating disorder was like, basically, I went from bulimic to just going overboard and eating all the time, and then I would feel guilty, and then I'd see myself getting bigger and I'd be able to fit into clothes, and then I would throw up, and that's how I would do it then. I wouldn't do it every day, but when I felt myself gaining weight, I would keep doing it until I lost weight, and then I would do it again. I would binge and purge within stretches because I didn't have no main goal to accomplish. So now, I'm living off campus because by now, I changed cousins' houses. I said I named 2 cousins. That's why I said I would name those 3 people, because they're in this story. 2 cousins. The second cousin, I moved out of that house and moved into my other cousin's house. She passed away. I found her on close to Christmas, on December 22nd. I found her. She died in her sleep. I woke up and I said, why is our alarm going off? She should be up by now. We were going to go Christmas shopping December 22nd. Because the night before, I came home and brought a cake, wished her happy birthday. Did a little something because I was off. I had a little money. So I gave her Alka-Seltzer. She said she wasn't feeling good. So I gave her an Alka-Seltzer and she went to sleep. Woke up the next morning, alarm going off. It's 10 o'clock. I say, why is the alarm going off? I get up and I knock on the door. No answer. Knock on the door again, and in the back of my head, first thought says she's gone. But you don't think about, no, she not. I'm gonna knock harder. I said, Benny, wake up. You in there? She didn't answer. So she said, if anything ever happened and I don't answer, something happens, it's a key in the linen closet with a big old keychain on it. So I got the key out the linen closet and I opened the door and she was laid in the bed. The Alka-Seltzer was around her mouth and I touched her, and when you touch like something stiff, the whole thing moves instead of just that part, as if something was living. Just describing it. When I touched her, her whole body moved, kind of like a tilt. And I said, Benny, and when I swear my right hand to God, it's like I blacked out. Before I blacked out, I saw an angel sitting above the bed, and it pointed to me, and I passed out. It just appeared out of nowhere after I realized she was gone. When I woke up, I crawled to the phone, and because my legs was weak, I couldn't even hardly move my legs, and I called my grandma. I said, Mama, Benny's gone. She said, I'm gonna call you right back. She called my uncle from around the corner, told him to come over here to see about me until she got here. She called me back and said, Chris, are you okay? I was crying. I was hysterical. It was a lot. So, So I'm laying on the floor, and my uncle came and got me up off the floor, and I stood there and I'm crying. And he walked in and saw her and then started crying. And he kind of lost it a little bit, and I'm crying, and that made me cry again. And we both cried. It was a lot. So my grandmother finally came and she said, we're not going to do this right now. Straighten up. And my godmother was there. They said, get the house together, people are coming. They made calls, I made calls, and they got me together. That's why I love those two strong women, because they taught me how to be strong within a hard situation. Don't break down. It's not time to break down yet. Let's take care of business. Let's do this, and then break down later. Smile now, cry later. I respect those two strong women. They've been through a lot themselves. I love you both. You've inspired me. Because of you two, I am the phoenix that rises from the ashes. Because I've seen you all rise from so many ashes and be reborn. Going through that enough. And I stay in my cousin's house for 3 years. I stayed in that house, which is my cousin Maisha's house now. So glad I stayed in the family when I moved. So many memories in that house. It needs to stay in the family. But yeah. Ooh, so I'm living in the house now. Young adult. She left me a nice package, and I know she loved me because she was like a mother to me also, just as well as my other cousin. And I was set up. I had a full college scholarship because both my parents had passed away, my father and my mother. I'm gonna get into my father in one whole episode. And most likely, I'm gonna tell the whole story of just my father and our relationship together. So I'm gonna dig deeper into that in a further episode. But anyway, I'm staying in the house. I'm all set up. I'm good. My past friend was living with me at the time, and it was like a college thing. You know, young adults doing their thing, taking care of business. I'm going to college. She going to college. We doing it, and we're living together. And I'm going back and forth to college, and I formed this liking to this guy. He was so handsome to me. He was quiet. He was laid back. And for some reason, I was very shy. I don't approach people. If anybody likes me, y'all got to approach me. A guy has to approach me. I'm nervous. I get nervous when I like somebody. I get fidgety, and you know what I mean? I don't know. When I like you, you'll know it, because I get quiet. I get kind of nervous, but anyway. He was so handsome to me, and I don't know, we would, you know, you catch a person's eye, they looking at you, and when you turn around to look at them, they look down, and then you look away, and then they look at you, and then I look down, and you know what I mean, back and forth. Anyway, that happened between 2 years of me going to college, and the third year, my third year of college. Shout out to Dominguez Hills University. We formed study buddies in classrooms, and by chance, him and I were study buddies. He was in our group, so it was a group of 4 people, and him and I just paired off after class to study. Both of us, both groups did it. So us 4 paired off into 2 from our other group. So he invited me over one day to his apartment, his little college dorm they had set up in Dominguez Hills. And after all the little, looks and gestures, and then the group thing, when we finally first talked, he suggested we study together. It was like an opening, so I'm like, oh my God, he asked me to come to his house. I was so nervous because I'm liking him, but he don't know I like him like that because I hit it very well. So picture us at his house. We're studying. He keep getting up and down, kind of, I think he nervous. So we finally finished studying and I said, it's getting late. I think I'm about to go. I don't want to drive home late. So, because I wasn't staying on campus, I was staying in my cousin's house. So, we finished studying and I'm about to get up. He said, sit down. I wanted to just chill a little bit. He lit up, but at that time, I wasn't doing it. I had stopped. And I was like, no, I'm good. So he did what he did. And then I said, well, I'm about to go. I'll see you later. He said, no, don't go. Stay all night. I said, no, I don't want to stay all night. I can't. I don't know you like that. And anyway, I don't have nothing, to wear. No pajamas, nothing. No toothbrush, I don't have nothing. So I'm walking towards the door. He grabs me. He grabs my neck. He said, you ain't going no effing where. He threw me to the ground, ripped off my clothes, and he violated me. He violated me in places I feel no one should be violated in if they don't ask for it. And mind you, I had a crush on him, so this dug deeper into me than what it was supposed to. Because I had a liking to him. My heart was pounding for him. And it's like, every man I've ever met in my life has dug deep into my heart and broke it. They just broke pieces off of it in different ways. But I'm gonna dig deeper into that in another episode. Focusing back on me on the ground and ripping my clothes off. He pulls his pants, well, at that time he had basketball shorts on, so he took his basketball shorts completely off. It was just him in the dorm. He covered my mouth, whispered in my ear, if you say any effing thing, I will kill you. He did what he had to do. He put it in. And it hurt so bad. It felt like somebody was stabbing me down there. No one should ever have to go through nothing like that. No one should ever have to be violated like that. Ever. I'm not gonna cry on camera. God has delivered me from this. I'm just feeling it because I'm thinking about it because I have to share it with you. Because it's somebody that went through this that's intersex that can be healed from this. I made it out of it and you can too. That's why I'm saying it. Above intersex people, anybody who gets the R-A-P-E word, I can't really say too much on YouTube. I gotta keep it PG-13, but you guys get the gist. Whenever somebody violates you, you don't deserve it. You didn't ask for it. They're at fault. Don't ever blame yourself. Don't ever blame yourself. It's not your fault. Anyway, after he gets through doing what he's doing and he gets up, mind you, he didn't use the condom, so I'm just am I gonna get something? Everything is just going through my head right now. Everything's going through my head and I'm laying on the floor, on my stomach. He gets up and says, get that out of my house. And I swear to God, if anybody If you say anything, if I think you said something, I'm gonna come to your house. Yeah, I know where you stay. Don't even worry about how I got your address. So mind you, I'm afraid I was a virgin, but now I'm not. It was even blood on the bottom of his stomach. It was blood all over me. I bled a lot. I didn't have any pads on because it wasn't time for my menstruation cycle. I got up, put the clothes on, put my clothes on. I had to hold my shorts and my shirt because it was ripped. Thank God I had extra clothes in the car and I changed. I walked to the car, changed my clothes. I sat up and I said, Chris, no. We're gonna cry later. I need you to get home. I need you to get home safely. We're gonna drive home. We're not gonna talk about this. We're act like this didn't happen. We're gonna take a shower and just take a nap, go to sleep. We're just gonna go to sleep. So I drove home crying and praying, in pain. I get home, my friends sleep. I take a shower, and in the shower I'm bleeding. I just sit on the floor and I lay there and I just start crying. I'm playing my music low, and I just start crying with the shower going. Yeah. That was rough. I was violated by my college crush. That covers my intersex story for episode 3. I thank you for laying here with me, listening. This was something I just needed to just relax, be relaxed, and just be calm in a centered state to talk to you all about this, so I won't break down. I'm okay. I survived it. I got through it. You can too. Yeah, it's gonna hurt when you think about it. There's triggers. We're human. But it's not gonna defeat us. It's not gonna tear us down. I'm intersex. I was violated. I survived it. I'm intersex. I had an eating disorder. I survived it. I'm here. You can too. Thank you so much for listening to me. And thank you so much for watching my Intersex series. This is very important to me, and this is me opening my heart up to you, sharing with you my intersex life, my experiences as an intersex person. I love you all for free, and the Phoenix Saga continues. Now stay tuned for some more informational purposes, so you can be more educated on me and who I am and the intersex world. Stay tuned for episode 4 of my Intersex series.
people to know about being intersex is that we're diverse, not disordered.
Nationalities, all different cultures. Some intersex people fit into the LGBT spectrum, but some intersex people are actually heterosexual.
But what we all share in common is this experience of stigma and discrimination.
What we're saying.
Just imagine instead of initiating sex, you're making them a cup of tea. You say, hey, would you like a cup of tea? And they go, oh my god, I would love a cup of tea, thank you. Then you know they want a cup of tea. If you say, hey, would you like a cup of tea? And they're like, I'm not really sure. Then you can make them a cup of tea, or not, but be aware that they might not drink it. And if they don't drink it, then, and this is the important bit, don't make them drink it. Just because you made it doesn't mean you're entitled to watch them drink it. And if they say, no thank you, then don't make them tea, at all. Just don't make them tea. Don't make them drink tea, don't get annoyed at them for not wanting tea. They just don't want tea, okay? They might say, yes please, that's kind of you. And then when the tea arrives, they actually don't want the tea at all. Sure, that's kind of annoying as you've gone to all the effort of making the tea, but they remain under no obligation to drink the tea. They did want tea, now they don't. Some people change their mind in the time it takes to boil the kettle, brew the tea, and add the milk. And it's okay for people to change their mind, and you are still not entitled to watch them drink it. And if they're unconscious, don't make them tea. Unconscious people don't want tea, and they can't answer the question, do you want tea? Because they're unconscious. Okay, maybe they were conscious when you asked them if they wanted tea, and they said yes, but in the time it took you to boil the kettle or brew the tea and add the milk, they are now unconscious. You should just put the tea down. Make sure the unconscious person is safe, and this is the important part again. Don't make them drink the tea. They said yes then, sure, but unconscious people don't want tea. If someone said yes to tea, started drinking it, and then passed out before they'd finished it, don't keep on pouring it down their throat. Take the tea away. Make sure they are safe, because unconscious people don't want tea. Trust me on this. If someone said yes to tea around your house last Saturday, that doesn't mean they want you to make them tea all the time. They don't want you to come around to their place unexpectedly and make them tea and force them to drink it, going, but you wanted tea last week. Or to wake up to find you pouring tea down their throat, going, but you wanted tea last night. If you can understand how completely ludicrous it is to force people to have tea when they don't want tea, and you are able to understand when people don't want tea, then how hard is it to understand when it comes to sex? Whether it's tea or sex, consent is everything. And on that note, I'm going to make myself a cup of tea.
Hotline is here to listen, help, and connect you with resources. It's confidential. What you say stays with us. It's anonymous. You don't have to share your name or personal information. It's available 24/7 by phone, text,